Man, oh man, this has got to be the story of the day, right? Explosive allegations today that an Alaska TV station was plotting to smear Joe Miller's Republican senatorial campaign. The campaign pointing to this tape.
Oh, yeah, we could see Joe Miller's list of people, campaign workers, which one's in the left there.
You know, out of all the people, it's just like each one of them will be right.
Exactly. You're buying that one.
And the one thing we can do, well, we won't know, but if there's any sort of chaos whatsoever, we can put out a Twitter and Facebook alert saying, you know, what the new feed is. Hey, Joe Miller clenched at rally. It's kind of like Rand Paul. I like that. That's a good one.
Boy, well, everyone's talking about that. Now to the man they're talking about. Now exclusively, Joe Miller from Alaska responding. He joins me over the phone. Joe, what do you make of that?
Well, you know, the conspiracy to fabricate stories is really completely appalling. I think it's the media's job to report the news. That's what Alaskans expect them to do, and that's what Alaskans deserve. It's unfortunate they've tried to and create news rather than reporting it.
You know, they later said, Joe, that they were just batting things around and that there was no ill intent. What do you think of that?
Well, you know, I just ask people to go to the recording, and there's a transcript that's up too. I mean, let people make up their minds for themselves. I mean, it is not the job of the news media to go out there and speculate. I mean, are they doing the same thing with the other campaigns? Obviously not. This has been a one-sided approach, at least at the local level in Alaska, and now it's out there and open for all to see.
Sarah Palin had been saying earlier today to Chris Wallace that it proves that those in the media who do this sort of stuff are corrupt bastards. I want you to listen to this and get your response.
I am saying, and we have it on tape, that CBS reporters in the affiliate up there in Alaska on tape are saying, let's find a child molester in the crowd as a supporter for Joe Miller. Let's blast that. Let's concoct a Ron Paul moment there. Let's find any kind of chaos so that we can tweet an alert saying, ooh, there was chaos. Joe Miller got punched or vice. That's sick. Those are corrupt bastards, Chris. That's what is wrong with the media today when they have their chosen one.
Do you agree with that, Joe?
That's a reference to the Corrupt Bastards Club, basically the type of corruption that we've seen throughout Alaska at all levels. I mean, we've all heard, of course, the Alaska Mafia. I mean, there are so many billions of dollars tied up in this race, so many interests at play. I mean, we heard about the Alaskans Standing Together, this a group that was formed by the native corporations here in Alaska. I mean, the level of corruption is staggering, where you would take federal contractors' money, federal money, and put it into a federal race to influence the outcome. So, I mean, we're seeing this in all sectors. I mean, in the media, we're seeing it in how the Alaskans Standing Together have interacted. We see it in the print media with over and over and over again misconstructions of the past. And really, frankly, this was, I think, a gift in the sense that now finally people can see it right there, out there for everybody to see what's going on the inside. And the problem, of course, is that it's kept Alaskans from seeing what's going on, the issues. And the issue is this is a state that is going to go under with the federal government if we don't get on our own 2 feet and create jobs from our natural resources. 40% of our economy, Neil, is dependent on the federal government. And so when the federal government goes bankrupt and we've done nothing in our state to create jobs, what happens? And that's what Alaskan voters have been cheated from by this group, by these people that are just so stuck with the establishment, with the way that things have been.
All right, well, back to this whole tape thing. And I just want to get the station's official response to us that while the recording is real, the allegations aren't true. The perception that this garbled out of context recording may leave is unfortunate, but to allege that our staff was discussing or planning to create or fabricate stories regarding candidate Miller is absurd. The complete conversation was about what others might be able to do to cause disruption within the Miller campaign, not what KTVA could do. Are you satisfied with that?
No, I mean, come on. Your listeners can go to the transcript. They can listen to the audio. I mean, one of the reporters stated, and this is a quote, "We know that out of all the people that will show up tonight, at least one of them will be a registered sex offender." I mean, come on. I mean, these folk are out there trying to create a story. Obviously, it's something that they aren't doing with the other campaigns. You can see it in the one-sided approach that has been taken in this race since the write-in bid was announced. And now it's out there for everybody to see. I don't have to speculate. All I have to do is point to your listeners and say, look, go to the source, go to the recording, go to the transcript, and they can make up their own mind.
But, you know, it's interesting, Joe, because it comes at a time where there's rumors back and forth that the National Republican Senatorial Committee isn't backing you. Now, the head of that committee putting out a statement today that is not the case. They're not abandoning you. Do you feel they are? Were you satisfied by the statement that they are not? Is this just folks just digging up stuff on you? What?
You know, Bill, Alaskans make up their own mind in races, so it really doesn't matter what's going on back in D.C. All Alaskans know is we've got to change D.C., and the way to do it is to change the people that are there. So it's irrelevant what a bunch of folks in D.C. are saying. It's irrelevant what they're doing. The fact of the matter is Alaskans will stand on their own. They'll make their own decisions based upon what they see in this race. And I think it's becoming very clear now to them that they've been hoodwinked over the last several weeks by the local media, and they understand, finally, they're getting a chance to understand that they've got to make a decision for their future. So I'm absolutely excited about where we're at as a campaign. The momentum is building, and we're going to take this race on Tuesday, whether or not we got the insiders in D.C. helping us out.
Joe, real quickly, if a number of Alaskans misspell Senator Murkowski's name in the write-in portion of the ballots that are going to be available to everyone next week, should those votes be honored and recognized?
Well, we know there's going to be a lot of misspellings because even Murkowski's ads have misspelled her name. I think there's been 2 that have gone out. So, you know, frankly, it's the will of the electorate. And, you know, Neil, we aren't going to interfere with that. We've always been an opponent to make sure that the people's voice is heard. This is a campaign about we the people, not special interests, and we the people are going to let their voice be heard on Tuesday, not just in Alaska, but nationwide.
All right. Well, Joe, look at the bright side of this. People the world over now are going to know if they have an iPhone when they end a phone call that it is indeed ended.
You know, I've dialed a few people myself, so you've got to always be cautious about what you're saying, that's for sure.
All right. I have one of these. I got to be careful, I guess. Joe Miller, thank you very, very much. Good having you on.